Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another month. Happy October. Happy October, you guys. I am actually filming this kind of like mid to end-ish of September. I'm filming this in advance because the end of my September is going to be quite busy, and I really want to have my TBR collection like ready to go for the beginning of October so I can have a phenomenal reading month. So, spoiler, I'm filming this a little bit, like we're still in September here. So I'm not sure how my September will end in terms of how many books I am going to have read, but I am going to be selecting 8 books in today's video again, regardless of where we end up. And I won't like repick any books that I haven't finished yet from last month TBR, just to like give myself the chance to still finish them this month, and then potentially if I haven't, I'll still try and read them in October, or we can put them in for November's options. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but today we were going to be doing the TBR jar picks my October TBR. I had so much fun filming this last month. This obviously was inspired by Rachel Catherine, and I am just living for it. So if you guys are interested in seeing what prompts I get, as well as what books I select relating to those prompts, stay tuned. I hope you'll consider subscribing first. But other than that, let's jump into the video. Okay, you guys, I didn't put back the prompts that I selected last month, and I think I'll try and get through this jar and then maybe put them all back in, maybe add a few prompts here and there as we go. But let's see what the first prompt is that we are going to get. Okay, the first book, or the first prompt, is a book with a love triangle. Interesting. I remember like writing this prompt out, like thinking I was going to select The Brothers Hawthorne, but I read that in September. So what am I gonna choose for this? I don't know, because I don't necessarily know what all books I own with a love triangle in it. There's one book that's like kind of coming to mind. All right, guys, the book that I'm gonna go with, I don't know if this has a love triangle, but I know there's like multiple people in a sexual relationship. I'm gonna read Credence by Penelope Douglas. If I don't read this fall winter, I'm just not gonna get around to this. I just know myself, and I was so excited to pick this up last year and read it, and then I just never did. And now I feel like it's one of those books that's been like sitting on my shelf. Plus I was thinking about picking this for a prompt last month, and reading through the comments of that video, one of you guys was like, you won't be disappointed in Credence. So I'm gonna pick this up. It is a taboo romance. It is about a girl whose like parents die, so she has to go live with her uncle and her 2 cousins, and essentially like where they're living like basically gets snowed in, where you can't leave like this cabin or this house like for a period of time each year. And I think it's like a relationship between like the 4 of them. So maybe that doesn't necessarily fit the love triangle prompt, but I'm gonna make it fit for this, and this is gonna be the first book on October's TBR. I am going to try and read some thrillers this month too, so even if I don't have like a full, like if I don't get thrillers for my prompt, I'm gonna try and sprinkle them in. I want to do a reading vlog of like reading thrillers for a week, just because that's not normally my genre, and I really want to try and read thrillers in October during spooky season. Okay, next up we have, next prompt, a book from an author you love. Ooh, yay, this is a good one. Yay. Okay, let's see. Who is coming to mind? Do I want to go with another book in the Addicted series? I know what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with the first book in The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I love Jennifer Lynn Barnes' writing. I love that it's fast-paced. There's like fun aspects with like the puzzles. It's just, she's super fun to read. And I've been wanting to read this since I purchased it. So this is the first book in the Naturals series, which if you're unfamiliar, it sounds like you essentially follow these, like, I think there's 4 of them, these like younger teenagers that all have these like this natural ability, like a natural like special ability, and they work for the FBI to help solve cases, cold cases, or cases just in general. So I also just love the like crime aspect to it. That just sounds like a fun time and a perfect time to be reading a book like this. Plus I think it'll read really quickly, just because again, Jennifer Lynn Barnes books typically are super fast paced. So second book on the TBR is going to be The Naturals. All right, what are we gonna get next? Okay, we have, ooh, a book with a one-word title. I feel like I should go with Vicious by V.E. Schwab. This is another book that I wanted to get to kind of like this time of year. And I feel like this is a book that I purchased last year, like excited yet intimidated to read, and I'm still feeling like that intimidation. So if I don't intentionally put it on a TBR, I feel like I'll continue to like avoid the book. So I think I'm gonna go with Vicious by V.E. Schwab for a one-word title and book number 3. All right, you guys, prompt number 4. Oh no, something just fell. Okay, putting the one that fell back in, and book number 4, a book with magic. Okay, you guys, I went with The Night Circus by Erin Morgenson for this one. I recently ordered this book because this was a book that I read like way back in the day, and it was like my favorite book of all time back in the day when I read this. And now 10 to 15 years later, I have no idea what this book is even about, other than like this magical circus that just like pops up out of nowhere. Like I literally can't remember anything about this book. So I wanted to read it again to see if I like would still think it's a 5-star today. And I feel like this is another one that I could see myself like putting off just to put off unless I put it on a TBR. And I feel like this is perfect. A magical circus, right? I think this has magic. Like I'm almost positive this has magic in it. So we're gonna go with The Night Circus for a book with magic. I'm feeling so good. Like I feel like my TBR is so seasonally relevant right now. This is fantastic. Okay, book number 5, I think will be 5 stars. Ooh, I know exactly what I want to choose for this, but I feel like it's such a long book, it intimidates me. But the first book that came to mind is Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling. I heard Rachel from Raven's Hair Reader talk about this, and it was a 5-star read for her. I think one of her favorites so far of the year. And she talks about the found family in this book. I also think there might be dragons in this. I could be wrong about the dragons. But I just was like super, it was right around the time that I read Fourth Wing, and I like instantly was like, I need to read all the fantasy romance books. And the way that she described this book just made me feel like it was gonna be a 5-star read for me. So I do anticipate this will be a 5-star. Hopefully it will be. It is, there has to be dragons because there's like dragons in there, like on each chapter page. This is over, is it over 600 pages? 571 pages. So I'm a little, do you guys ever like, do you hesitate to read long books because you're like, oh, this is gonna take me forever and then I'm not gonna read that many books this month? So stupid, like so silly to put a book off that you think is gonna be great just because it's gonna take a little extra time to read. So for a book that I believe will be 5 stars, only time will tell, but I'm gonna choose Fear the Flames. All right. 3 more to choose? Yes. Book 6 is, oh, a romance. Short, sweet, and simple. Okay. Ooh, you guys. Okay, do I go with Love Theoretically, which is the first book that came to mind, or do I go with Once Upon a Broken Heart? Because I feel like last video, or when I did my haul of this, so many of you were telling me to pick this up and read it. It's a really fast read. It looks like this is gonna be actually a really fast read. Plus I've been wanting to get to this and wanting to read more fantasy. So I think I'm gonna actually go with Once Upon a Broken Heart. We can save this for a different prompt, a different time. I am gonna choose Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber for my romance. No thrillers selected so far. All right, 2 more left. Next prompt we get, ooh, a book under 300 pages. Under 300, okay. One moment, let me see if any thrillers fit this for me. Okay, you guys, I don't know that I have a thriller under 300 pages. So I'm actually gonna go with Finley Donovan Jumps the Gun for this one, the next book in the Finley Donovan series. There are more books coming out in this series, which makes me so happy and excited. I also feel like this is the perfect time of year to read Finley. I think I read my first Finley around this time last year, and it's just, they're cute, cozy, kind of mystery, fun, comedy type of books. And this one is 294 pages, so just under 300. Hopefully this will be a fast read this month, which will help hopefully get through some extra books this month, or at least make up for Fear the Flames being almost 600. So book number 7 is Finley Donovan Jumps the Gun. All right, you guys, and that means we are on our last prompt, which is a book I've purchased in the last month. A book I've purchased in the last month. Okay, I could have done Night Circus for that. I feel like the rest were like the last month or two. Let me look at my Amazon. Let me look at the last Amazon other than Night Circus, which just arrived. Okay, the last book that I received from Amazon, which would have been the last book that I have purchased, like I've only purchased from Amazon, I haven't been to Barnes lately, that I haven't already read, would be Assistant to the Villain, which I purchased, or which was delivered on August 29th, which I'm actually filming this before September 29th. So this actually has been purchased within the last month. So this is Assistant to the Villain. And I feel like I've heard, like I haven't heard like a rave review on this yet. I haven't heard it's like bad, but it's just like okay, which makes me like a little bit nervous. I think this is more like YA, so hopefully it'll read kind of quickly. We'll see, we'll see. It makes me nervous because I'm like, I haven't heard like outstanding things, which doesn't make me super excited to get into it and read it, but this would be my most recent purchase, so this feels natural to choose for this prompt and for book number 8. If you guys are unfamiliar, this is about Evie, who basically becomes employed as an assistant to the villain. I don't know if they have a romance. Like, I literally don't really know anything about this book. There was like a little blurb of this at the end of Fourth Wing, and I just felt like it sounded like a cute, fun time. So I decided to pre-order it, and now I have it. That is going to be the 8th and final book on my October TBR. No thrillers on the TBR, but I'm gonna try and get some read. So we'll see what actually happens for my reading in October. But just to recap really quick, we have Assistant to the Villain. We have Finley Donovan Jumps the Gun. We have Once Upon a Broken Heart, Fear the Flames, The Night Circus, Vicious, The Naturals, and Credence. I feel like this is a really, really amazing collection of books for this season, so I am really excited about it. I'm a little bit nervous, just like I feel like there are some books I'm really excited about, but there's also books that like are outside of my comfort zone and intimidating to me, so it could be an interesting reading month. But here is my book stack for the month of October. I would love to know in the comments below, what books do you guys plan to read for October? Do you have any thriller recommendations? Do you have any recommendations in general? Let a girl know in the comments below. Other than that, thank you so much for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting my channel as you guys always do. I appreciate it, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.